I never expected to see my stepbrother like that, but I did. Subscribe for more stories. They say the things you're not supposed to want are the ones that burn the deepest. But no one ever tells you what happens after the line is crossed, after the damage is done. This isn't a story about romance. 020. It's a story about blurred boundaries, broken trust, and the consequences of choices you can never undo. My name is Lexi. I'm 21 years old, the kind of person who always played it safe. I followed the rules, stayed out of trouble, and tried to keep my world neat and tidy. But some things don't stay neat, no matter how hard you try. 044. My stepbrother, Jason, was also 21. We weren't related by blood, our parents had married a few years earlier, but we grew up under the same roof, sharing the same kitchen, the same living room, the same daily routines. At first, it felt awkward, like we were strangers forced into the same family. Over time, though, the awkwardness softened into familiarity. Too much familiarity, maybe. 107. Jason was different from me. Carefree, unpredictable, the type who could make friends anywhere. He always knew how to make people laugh, even when he wasn't trying. And maybe that's why I noticed him more than I should have. Maybe that's why, in quiet moments, I caught myself staring too long. I told myself it was harmless. Just curiosity. Just comfort. But maybe I was lying to myself. 126. One night, I found out the truth. Our parents were out. I was cleaning up in the kitchen after dinner, the house unusually quiet. Too quiet. Jason had gone upstairs earlier, said he was tired. I don't know what made me follow. Maybe boredom. Maybe instinct. Maybe something I didn't want to admit. 150. I knocked softly on his door. No answer. It was cracked open just a little, and I pushed it wider. And then everything unraveled. Jason was on his bed, half-dressed, his hand moving under the blanket. My breath caught in my throat. Every part of me screamed to turn around, to leave, to pretend I hadn't seen anything. But I froze. If you want to chat with me or see exclusive stories and content, check the link in the comments. Let's continue my story. 212. And then he looked up. Our eyes met. His face flushed with panic, shame. He yanked the blanket over himself, stammering, completely exposed. I should have left right then. Should have apologized, backed out, anything. But I didn't. Instead, I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. 239. The silence between us felt heavy, suffocating. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. And then I whispered the words that still haunt me, "It's okay." They weren't okay. Nothing about it was. But the way he looked at me, like I was the only person in the world who saw him, who understood him, it cracked something open inside me. 302. He said, "Lexi, I think about you all the time. I know it's wrong, but I can't stop it." His voice was trembling, but his eyes were steady, searching mine. And I don't know what came over me, but I reached out, brushed his cheek. He leaned in. And before I could think, we kissed. It was soft, hesitant, and over in seconds, but in those seconds, everything shifted. 323. He wasn't just my stepbrother anymore. He was someone who needed me, and I gave in. I wish I could tell you I stopped it right there. That I pulled away, strong enough to draw the line. But I wasn't. That moment changed everything. 345. The days that followed were unbearable. I avoided him. He avoided me. Our house, once filled with easy laughter, was now silent and tense. My parents noticed, of course, asking if something was wrong. I said I was tired. Distracted. Just life. But the truth was heavier than I could ever admit. 405. One night, Jason came downstairs while I was sitting alone in the kitchen, staring into a half-empty glass of wine. He stood in the doorway, his voice quiet but firm. "We need to talk." I shook my head. "We can't. This is wrong." He stepped closer anyway. "It wasn't a mistake, Lexi. You felt it too. Don't lie to me." 428. I wanted to deny it, to push him away. But I couldn't. Everything inside me was tangled between guilt and fire. Just as he reached for my hand, the front door opened. Our parents were home early. 452. The look on my mom's face when she saw us, the closeness, the guilt written all over us, said everything. She didn't need words. She just knew. Jason quickly pulled back, mumbling an excuse, but it was too late. The damage was done. 5:15. That night turned our house into a battlefield of silence. My mom confronted me, asking what was happening. I couldn't lie. I whispered, something happened. Her face shattered. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just broke. 5:44. After that, nothing was the same. Jason moved out within weeks. My parents' marriage cracked under the weight of betrayal they didn't even know how to name. I packed my bags, too, retreating into a small apartment just to escape the wreckage. 6:05. Jason and I never talked about it again. Not really. We passed each other once or twice in the city, exchanging nothing but a look, a nod. Months later, he messaged me, "You ruined everything." And he was right. 6:25. I don't know what I thought would happen. That it was just a flicker, a moment we could both forget? Life doesn't work like that. The choices you make in the dark don't disappear. They follow you. They whisper to you at night when you're alone. 6:46. Now I live with regret. Alone. I keep an old family photo on my desk, the four of us smiling before everything broke. Sometimes I stare at it and wonder who I might have been if that night never happened. Or maybe I wonder if the version of me in that photo was ever real at all. 7:08. I'm not telling this story for pity. I don't expect forgiveness. I'm not sure I even deserve it. I tell it because sometimes the worst things we do are the ones we never plan. Sometimes love twists itself into something dangerous. And sometimes being seen, truly seen, is the very thing that destroys you. 7:30. My name is Lexi. And this is what it cost me to cross a line I can never uncross.